Hello guys, in this video we'll continue for the relations and ordering, that is the relation matrix and the graph of relation. I am Professor H.D. Padia from SHGMC Shigao. In our previous videos we have completed the set theory, the inclusion of the set equality, types of the set, operations on the set, Venn diagrams, set identifiers, Cartesian products and the relations and ordering. In this video, we are continuing the topic of the relations and ordering, that is the relation matrix and the graph of a relation. From this heading, you can clear that we will continue for the relation matrix and the graph. We'll see that a relation R from a finite set X to a finite set Y can also be represented by a matrix, hence called the relation matrix of R. If we have the two sets, first is capital X with the elements x1, x2, x3 up to the xn, and second set is capital Y with the elements y1, y2, y3 up to the yn. And capital R is a relation from between these two sets, that is from X to Y. Then the relation matrix of R can be obtained by first constructing a table whose columns are preceded by a column consisting of the successive elements of X and whose rows are headed by a row consisting of the successive elements of Y. That is a rule to draw the matrix. If the Xi has a relation R with Yj, then we have to enter 1 in the ith row and the jth column. But if suppose for the xk is not in a relation R to Yl, then we have to enter the 0 at the position kth row and the yth column. If for two elements there is a relation, then we have to enter 1. If there is no relation, then we have to enter 0. Let's have the example. We have one relation. It is a set of ordered pairs x1, y1, x2, y1, x3, y2 and the x2, y2. There are the four relations. Therefore, the required table for R is, if we have to design a table or a matrix, then first we have to clear that how many rows are there and how many columns are there. There are the three elements of the capital X, that is the x1, x2 and x3, and the two elements of the set capital Y, these are the y1 and y2. Therefore, in a required table or in a matrix, there will be three rows, the x1, x2 and x3, and there will be two columns, these are the y1 and y2. The order of matrix is 3 by 2, that is row by column. Therefore, there will be 6 cells. The positions for these 6 cells are the x1, y1. We always write the x first, that is x1, y1. Second position is x1, y2. Next position is x2, y1. Then x2, y2. Next is the x3, y1. And the last is x3, y2. Now, the relation R, it is a set of four ordered pairs, that is x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y2 and x2, y2. That's why for these four positions we have entered 1, which is in your red color, and for the remaining positions we have entered 0. From this required table, simply we can design a matrix of the size 3 by 2 with the values 1 0, 1 1 and the 0 1. In reverse from this matrix, we can show that there is a relation between the x1 y1 because it is 1, then x2 y1 because it is 1, x2 y2 for this 1 and the x3 y2 because it is 1. We have the next example. A set P with the 5 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the relation less than, it is a set of ordered pairs x, y such that x belongs to the set P and y belongs to the set P, and the relation is x is less than y. Therefore, if we form the set of ordered pairs for that, then it is a set of 1 is less than 2, 1 is less than 3, 1 is less than 4, 1 is less than 5, 2 is less than 3, 2 is less than 4, 2 is less than 5, then 3 is less than 4, 3 is less than 5, and the last is 4 is less than 5. Therefore, in simple, this set of the relation is 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, and the 4, 5. Now, there are the 5 elements. It is a relation between the elements of the same set, means the elements of the P with the elements of the P. That's why there will the 5 columns and 5 rows. These 5 columns are for the values for the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these are for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then what will the positions? Then positions will 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, and 1, 5. This will the 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, and like that up to the 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, and the last position will 5, 5. It is a matrix representation. Now, for the relation set, if ordered pair is there, means the relation is there, then we have to enter 1. Now, if we look to that, the 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5 are there. Therefore, at the position 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, and 1, 5, we have entered 1. 1, 1 is not there, that's why it is 0. If we look to the next, then 2, 1 is not there, 2, 2 is not there. That's why 2, 1 and 2, 2 we have entered 0. And 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, that is position 2, 3, 2, 4, and 2, 5, we have entered 1. Same for the 3, 4, and 3, 5, that is 3, 4, and 3, 5, these are 1 and remaining are 0. And for the last, that is 4, 5, this is a position 4, 5, we have entered 1, remaining is 0. That is a matrix representation. Now, a relation can also be represented pictorially by drawing its graph. Then, how to design the graph and what are the terminologies? That let R is a relation in a set X. If it is a set of elements x1, x2, x3 up to the xn, then the elements of the X are represented by a points or a circle called the nodes. The nodes corresponding to xi and xj are labeled the xi and xj respectively. We'll see that these nodes also called as the vertices. If the xi has a relation R to xj, that is, if the ordered pair of xi, xj belongs to the relation R, then we connect the node xi and xj by means of an arc and put an arrow on the arc in the direction from xi to xj. This arc with the direction, that's we also called a path. See, suppose we have the two nodes xi and xj, and xi has a relation to xj. Then we show this relation with this line and with this arrow, that is this path. Now its meaning is xi has a relation with xj. Its meaning is not that xj has a relation with xi, because arrow is showing the direction. When all the nodes corresponding to the ordered pairs in a relation R are connected by the arc with the proper arrows, we get a graph that we call the directed graph of the relation R. We'll see that if xi has a relation R to xj and the xj also has a relation R to xi, then we draw the two arcs between the xi and xj. For the sake of simplicity, we may replace the two arcs by one arc with arrows pointing in both directions. We get an arc which starts from the node xi and return to the node xj. Such an arc is called a loop. We'll see that this arc, it is showing that xi has a relation with xj, and this arc is showing that xj has a relation with xi. So we can show this separately two lines with the two arrows, or to simplify this, we can design a single line with the two arrows. Means xi has a relation with xj, this arrow is showing, and this arrow is showing that xj has a relation to xi. From the graph of the relation, it is possible to observe the sum of the properties. Then what are the properties? We have seen in our previous video that there are the 5 properties for the relation. First is reflexive, second is symmetric, third is transitive, fourth is irreflexive, and fifth is antisymmetric. Now we'll see that how we can define the properties of the relation directly from the graph. See, if a relation is reflexive, then there must be a loop at each node. Or you can go in reverse, that if in a graph at each node there is a loop, if every node is having the relation with itself, then the relation is reflexive. On the other hand, if the relation is irreflexive, then there is no loop at each node. Again, you can go in reverse, that if at any node there is no loop, then it is irreflexive. Next, that if a relation is symmetric and if one node is connected to another, then there must be a return arc from the second node to the first node. And for the antisymmetric relations, no such direct return path should exist. Means if in a graph there is a direction from one node to the another and another node to the first node also, then we can say that it is a symmetric relation. And for the transitive, we cannot express in the words, we'll show directly the example, that if a relation is transitive, the situation is not so simple. The nodes must be as per the given graph. We'll show you the graph. Now we'll discuss some examples. It is a graph for the x has a relation r to y. There are the two nodes, that's why we have this first node x and this is the second node y, and we have connected this x to y with this path, that is the x has a relation r to y. The second example is for the x has a relation r with itself, that is x has a relation r to x. This is a single node x and this node has a relation with itself, that's why we are connected with a arrow. The next example is for that x has a relation r to y and y has a relation r to the x, back to the x. Then here you can see that x has a relation to y and y has a back relation to the x. The next example is the x has a relation r to y, then y has a relation r to z, and the x has a relation r to y. Now you have to clear that it is not the case for transitive, because it is just like the one circle, that x has a relation r to y, y has a relation r to z, and z has a relation r to x. For the transitive, the condition is different. Now the next is an example for that x has a relation r to y and the y has a relation r to y itself. Then we have the two nodes x and y. The first line is showing that x has a relation r to y and the second loop is showing that y has a relation r to y. Now the next is we have the three nodes, that is x, y and z, and if we observe that x is in relation to y and y is in relation to x, then y has a relation to z and z has a relation to y. Means if we discuss about the properties, then this graph is not reflexive because the x and z are not having the relation with itself. For reflexive, every node must have the relation with itself. That's why it is not reflexive. Second, the x has a relation y to y and y has a relation with x. Y has a relation with z, then z has a relation with y. That's why this graph is symmetric. Right? Then it is not transitive and it is not irreflexive, because irreflexive, then any node must not have the relation with itself. But in this graph, the y is having the relation with itself. That's why it is not irreflexive also. The next is that A has a relation to B, B has a relation to C, C has a relation to S, and S has a relation to A. Now in this case, we can check that it is not reflexive, it is not symmetric, because A has a relation to B, but B is not having the relation to A. B has a relation to C, but C is not having the relation to B. And same, the C has a relation to S, but S is not having the relation with C. That's why it is not symmetric. And it is not transitive, it is not antisymmetric, but it is irreflexive, because in this graph, the any node is not having the relation with itself. In the next, the graph 8, we have the two nodes, that is x and y. Now, any node is not having the loop, the relation with itself. That's why obviously it is not reflexive, it is irreflexive. Then, what's about the symmetric? The x and y, they are not having a single connection. That's why it is symmetric also. When it will the not symmetric, that if x has a relation with y, but y is not having the relation with x, then it is not symmetric. There is no single relation also between these two nodes. That's why it is symmetric. The next is the case for the transitive. If we have a single node x which is having the relation with itself, then we consider this as a reflexive. It is symmetric also and it is transitive also, because it is a single node. If we have the two nodes, the connected like that, then the x and y, both nodes are having the loop connection with itself. That's why we consider it is reflexive. The x has a relation with y and y has a relation with x, then it is symmetric also. And the x has a relation with y, then y has a relation with x, then x also has a relation with x. That's why it is transitive also. In the next, now it is a case of transitive, that x has a relation with y, y has a relation with z, then x has a direct relation with third, that is z. I repeat, the x has a relation with y, y has a relation to z, and x has a direct relation to the z. That's why it is transitive. It is not reflexive, because any node is not having the connection itself, and it is not symmetric, because x to y but y to x is not there, y to z but z to y is not there, and x to z then z to x is not there. In the next, we have the four nodes x, y, z, w. Then the w has a relation to x, x has a relation to y, then y has a relation to z. If we look to this graph, then it is a case for the transitive. We'll discuss that x has a relation to y, y has a relation to z, then x has a direct relation to z. The next, the w has a relation to x and x has a relation to y, then w also has a direct relation to y. That's why it is a transitive. We'll discuss some examples. Let P is a set of 4 elements 1, 2, 3, 4. Then for the relation greater than, it is a set of ordered pairs x, y such that the x belongs to the P and y belongs to the P and x is greater than y. Therefore, for greater than relation, it is a set of ordered pairs 4, 1 because 4 is greater than 1, 4, 2, 4, 3. Then 3, 1, 3, 2 and the 2, 1. Now, the relation matrix for that, the 4 elements are there 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why there will be 4 columns and the 4 rows. And for this position, that is 2, 1, we have entered 1, 3, 1 and 3, 2, we have entered 1. Then 4, 1, 4, 2 and 4, 3, we have entered 1 and remaining all are 0. If we have to design the graph for that, then we have taken the 4 nodes, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. There is a relation from 2 to 1. 2 is greater than 1. That's why we'll connect this. First, we have the 4, 1, 4, 2 and 4, 3. That's why we have connected this 4 to 1, 4 to 2 and 4 to 3. The next two ordered pairs are 3, 1 and 3, 2. That's why we'll connect the 3 with 1 and this 3 with 2. And the last is 2, 1. That's why we can connect directly this 2 to 1. This is a graph representation for a given set with a given relation. The first problem statement, that let X is a set of 4 elements 1, 2, 3, 4 and the relation is directly given, that a relation, it is a set of ordered pairs 1, 1, 1, 4, 4, 1, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2 and 3, 3. Then what they ask, that write the matrix of R and sketch its graph. Now, the matrix and graph of the R are given in the following figure. The matrix representation is, now it's simple. The 4 elements are there 1, 2, 3, 4 and relation is between the elements of X to X. Therefore, there will be 4 columns 1, 2, 3, 4. There will be 4 rows 1, 2, 3, 4. And if the ordered pair is in a relation, that is 1, 1, that's why I have entered 1, 1, 4, that's why I have entered 1. Then for the next 2, 2 and 2, 3, then 3, 2 and 3, 3, and last, that is 4, 1 and 4, 4. We have entered 1. If it is available, then we will enter 1. Now, for this graph also, we'll consider the 4 nodes, that is the x1, x2, x3 and x4. If we look to the given, that 1 has a relation with 1, 1 has a relation with 4, 4 has a relation with 1 and 4 has a relation with 4. That's why we can show this like that. That 1 has a relation with 1, 1 has a relation with 4, 4 has a relation with 4 and 4 has a relation with 1. This is a way to design the graph. The next 4 are the 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2 and 3, 3. That's why we can connect these 2 nodes, that is x2 has a relation with x2, x3 has a relation with x3, x2 has a relation with x3 and x3 has a relation to x2. The second problem is that let X is a set of 6 elements, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and now the relation is given that R is a set of ordered pairs x, y such that X is greater than y. Then draw the graph of R and give the matrix. Now first we have to find out the ordered pairs for the given relation. Now it is greater than, that's why R, it is a set of the 2, 1, then 3, 1, 3, 2, the 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, then 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, and the 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, and 6, 5. Therefore, the relation matrix is, now this matrix will of the order 6 by 6, that is the 6 rows and 6 columns. If we look to that, then we have entered 1 at the 2, 1 because 2 is greater than 1. We have entered 1 at the 3, 1 and 3, 2 because 3 is greater than 1 and 3 is greater than 2. We have entered the 1 at the positions 4, 1, 4, 2 and 4, 3, because 4 is greater than 1, 4 is greater than 2 and 4 is greater than 3. Same for the 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4. And in the last row for the 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4 and 6, 5. Now if we have to design the graph, then we have to consider the 6 nodes. We can consider these 6 nodes in a rectangle shape or in a hexagon shape. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the first relation is the 2, 1. That's why we'll show this connection, that is 2, 1. The next, the 3, 1 and 3, 2. That is 3 has a relation with 1 and 3 has a relation with 2. The next are the 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3. That's why we can show that 4, 1, 4, 2 and 4 relation with 3. The next 5 has a relation with 4 terms, 4 elements, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why we are shown with these green arrows. That is 5 has a relation with 1, 5 has a relation with 2, 5 has a relation with 3 and 5 has a relation with 4. And the last 6, for the node 6, it has a relation with 1, it has a relation with 2, it has a relation with 3, it has a relation with 4 and it has a relation with 5. It is shown with the red paths, red lines. It is a graph representation. The third problem statement is that X is a set of 7 elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and the relation R is given, that is a set of ordered pairs X, Y such that the X minus Y is divisible by 3. Now one relation is given that X minus Y is divisible by 3. Then show that the R is an equivalence relation and draw the graph. They ask to show that the R is an equivalence relation. Then first we must know that what is the definition for equivalence relation. A relation which is symmetric, reflexive and transitive, this relation is called the equivalence relation. For that, first we will design the ordered pairs. That R is a set of ordered pairs, that is 1, 1, because 1 minus 1 is divisible by 3. 1, 4, that is 1, 1 minus 4, that is minus 3 is divisible by 3. 1 minus 7, that is minus 6 is divisible by 3. Same, the 4, 1, that is 4 minus 1, 3 is divisible by 3. 4 minus 4, that is 0, it is divisible by 3. 4, 7, that is 3, it is divisible by 3. 7 minus 1, 6, 6 is divisible by 3. 7 minus 4, 3, 3 is divisible by 3. 7 minus 7, 0, it is also divisible by 3. You can check for remaining, that is 2, 2, 2, 5, 5, 2, 5, 5, 3, 3, 3, 6, 6, 3 and the 6, 6. Therefore, if we are to design the matrix now, then we have to consider the 7 nodes. The 7 columns, these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and the 7 rows, these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If there is a relation that is 1, 1, that's why we have entered the 1. Next is 1, 4, then we have entered this 1 at the position 1, 4. 1, 7, then we have entered the 1 at the position 1, 7. Same, the 2, 2 and 2, 5, we have entered 1. You can refer to the previous set of the relation. Then for the ordered pair we have entered 1. If there is no ordered pair, then we have entered 0. Now if we are to design the graph for that, then in your previous the relation sets, you can observe that there is a relation between the node 1, 4 and 7. There is a relation between only 2 and 5. There is no any other relation of the 2 and 5. And there is a relation of the 3 and 6. That's why. Now we'll consider the 7 nodes, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But to avoid the complexity of the graph, we have observed that there is a relation between the 1, 4, 7 only. there is a relation between the 2 and 5, and there is a relation between the 3 and 6. Now the 1, 1, 1, 4, 1, 7, 4, 1, 4, 4, 4, 7, then 7, 1, 7, 4 and 7, 7. That's we can show like that. If you observe to this graph, it show all these relations. The next four relations are the 2, 2, 2, 5, 5, 2 and 5, 5. That's why we can show these relations like this. That is 2 has a relation with 2, the 5 has a relation with 5, 2 has a relation with 5 and 5 has a relation to 2. The next four relations are the 3 with 3, 3 with 6, 6 with 3 and 6 with 6. Then again we can show like this. Right? But what was the question? The question is that show the relation R is equivalence relation. Then which is the equivalence relation? If it is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, then from this graph can we say that it is reflexive? Then S. Because if we observe to all these 7 nodes, then all these nodes are having the relation with itself. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All are having the relation with itself. That's why it is reflexive. Is it symmetric? Then S. Because you can observe that if 1 has a relation with 4, then 4 also has a relation with 1. 1 has a relation with 7, then 7 also has a relation with 1. If 2 has a relation with 5, then 5 also has a relation with 2. That's why if X has a relation with Y and Y has a relation with Z, X has a relation with Y and Y also has a relation with X, then it is a symmetric. That's why this relation is symmetric. Third, is it transitive? Then we'll observe that 1 has a relation to 4 and 4 has a relation to 7. Then 1 also has a direct relation to 7. Again, the 1 has a relation to 7 and 7 has a relation to 4. Then 1 also has a direct relation to 4. That's why it is transitive also. And if any relation is symmetric, reflexive and transitive, then we call it is an equivalence relation. How we can show this equality with the statements? We'll see that a relation R in a set X is called an equivalence relation if it is reflexive, symmetric and the transitive. It is possible to prove this statement without using the graph of the relation in the following manner. We can show the equivalence with the graph also, or without graph. How to show, how to prove? See, for any element A belongs to the set X, if A minus A is divisible by 3, hence A is in relation R to A, therefore R is reflexive. Because 1 minus 1, 0 is divisible by 3, 2 minus 2, 0 is divisible by 3. Same for the 3 minus 3, 4 minus 4, 5 minus 5, 6 minus 6 and 7 minus 7. That's why the every element A has a relation with itself. That's why it is reflexive. The next, that for any A comma B belongs to the set X, if the A minus B is divisible by 3, then B minus A is also divisible by 3. If 1 minus 4, that is minus 3 is divisible by 3, then 4 minus 1, that is 3 is also divisible by 3. Because 3 is divisible by 3 and negative 3 minus 3 is also divisible by 3. That's why if A has a relation with B, then B also has a relation with A. That's why it is the symmetric. Right? The third, for any three elements A, B, C belongs to the set X, if A has a relation R to B and B has a relation R to C, then the both A minus B and B minus C are divisible by 3. So that A minus C is equals to the A minus B plus the B minus C is also divisible by 3. Hence, the A has a relation R to C. And if A has a direct relation R to C, then we call that R is transitive. For example, suppose A is 7, B is 4 and C is 1. Then if we perform the A minus B, that is 7 minus 4, plus the B minus C, that is 4 minus 1, then 7 minus 4, it is equals to 3, 4 minus 1, it is equals to 3. That's why 3 plus 3 is 6, and it is divisible by 3. That's why it is transitive also. In the last, the problem statement that determine the properties of the relations given by the graphs and also write the corresponding relation matrices. Now the first problem is there, that is A. The 5 nodes are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the relation matrix, it will of the order 5 by 5, the 5 columns and the 5 rows. Now you can observe the 1 has a relation to 2 and 1 has a relation with 3. That's why 1 comma 2 and 1 3 we have entered 1. Then at the 2 there is no any outgoing direction. 2 is not having the any outgoing direction. That's why we have entered all 0 for the 2. Then for the 3 has a relation with 4 and 3 has a relation with 5. That's why at the 3 5 4 and 3 5 we have entered 1. Now for the next 4 there is no any outgoing node, and for the 5 there is no any outgoing node. They are not having the relation. That's why the 4th row all are 0 and the 5th row all are 0. Now how to define the properties? The first, is it reflexive? Then obviously not, because any node is not having the relation with itself. Okay. Is it symmetric? Then no, because 1 has a relation to 2, but 2 is not having the relation with 1. 1 has a relation with 3, then 3 is not having the relation with 1. That's why it is not symmetric. Is it transitive? Then we'll check that 1 has a relation with 3 and 3 has a relation with 4. Then there must be the relation of 1 to 4, direct relation of 1 to 4. But it is not there. That's why it is not transitive also. Is it irreflexive? Then S. Because any node is not having the relation with itself. That's why it is irreflexive. But for basic 3, it is not reflexive, it is not symmetric, and it is not transitive. The second, there are the 3 nodes 1, 2, 3, and every node is having the relation only with itself. Then how to draw the graph? It will a diagonal matrix. The matrix is with the order 3 by 3. See, 1 comma 1 it is 1, the 2 2 it is 1, and 3 3 it is 1. It is a diagonal matrix because every element is having the relation with itself only. Now is it reflexive? Then S, because every node is having the relation with itself, then it is reflexive. It is symmetric? Then S, because there is no any single direction. There is no any single direction, there is no any single path, then it is symmetric also. And is it transitive? Then S. We have seen that for any single node, if it has a relation with itself, then it is transitive also. The C is there. Now we have the 4 nodes 1, 2, 3, 4. Now how to design the matrix? The matrix will with the order 4 by 4. The 1 has a relation with 1, that's why it is 1. 1 has a relation with 2, that's why 1. 1 is not having relation with 3, 0. And 1 has a relation with 4, that's why 1. If you observe to the 2, then 2 has a relation with 1, that's why it is 1. 2 has a relation with 2, it is 1. 2 has a relation with 3, it is 1. 2 is not having the relation with 4, that's why 0. Same for the 3 and 4. Now, what's about the properties? Is it reflexive? Then S, because every node is having the relation with itself. Or you can observe in the matrix also. If in a matrix the diagonal elements are 1, then directly we can show that it is reflexive. Is it symmetric? Then S. You can observe that 1 has a relation with 2, then 2 also has a relation with 1. If 2 has a relation with 3, then 3 also has a relation with 2. 1 has a relation with 4, then 4 also has a relation to 1. That's why it is symmetric. But transitive, we'll check that 1 has a relation to 2 and 2 has a relation with 3. Then there must be a direct relation from 1 to 3, but it is not there. That's why it is not transitive. The last, we have the 4 nodes 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, in a matrix, the order is 4 by 4. The 1 not having the relation with itself, that is 0. That 1 not having the relation with 2, that is 0. Relation from 1 to 3, that's why it is 1. There is a relation from 1 to 4, that's why it is 1. Then 2 to 1, there is a relation, that's why 1. 2 to 2, it is no relation, there is no a loop, that's why it is 0. Then 2 to 3, there is a relation, that's why 1. And 2 to 4, there is a relation, that's why 1. And same for the remaining. Now, is it reflexive? Then obviously not, because any node is not having the relation with itself. Is it symmetric? Then no, because this 2 has a relation with 1, but 1 is not having the relation with 2. 2 has a relation with 3, but 3 is not having the relation with 2. That's why it is not symmetric. But is it transitive? We'll check that 2 has a relation with 1 and 1 has a relation with 4. Then this 2 has a relation with 4. This red lines. Again we'll check that this 2 has a relation with 3. 3 has a relation with 4. Then 2 also has a direct relation with